Hi, everyone. So I am here to do the wrap up of Zach's week 2 of carnivore, ketogenic eating to see if it can help his ADHD symptoms. So I want to start out by saying that week 1 was phenomenal in the impact, the positive impact that we had for him. If you have not seen that video, go back and watch it before you watch this one, just so you can see, the positive strides that he made in week 1. So in week 2, we had a couple of challenges. On the very first day of week 2, which was last Sunday, we went to my in-laws' house for a family gathering. And so I made sure to let her know that he was now sort of eating more like me. And so it was actually kind of cool. She actually made a tri-tip. So we all had tri-tip. So I just ate that. And then she made him a hamburger patty with some cheese. It was like a 3-pound hamburger patty with cheese. And then he also took a piece of tri-tip, but he started with the hamburger patty and then he was too full for the tri-tip. And so actually it was funny because when he was done eating, he was like, oh, I should have started with that because he saw this piece of tri-tip on his plate. Thought that it would be good, but he was too full to eat it. He was like, oh, I should have started with the good stuff. So anyways, that was just funny. So we were actually, able to navigate that fairly easily. He was okay with drinking water because they didn't have any whole milk. So he's been doing whole milk at home. And, since they didn't have any, she made dessert because the gathering was for a birthday celebration for 2 people that are not keto or carnivore or anything of the like. And so there was cake and ice cream, and I was really proud of my son because he was okay with bringing a little heavy cream and the allulose sweetener and the vanilla and just making up some whipped cream, and he ate that, and he was good with it. I was really, really proud of him. Like no complaints, nothing. He just had that instead and seemed perfectly happy. I will also say that I noticed some positive changes in him throughout that night. So in the past, he would sort of go into a rocking chair. Due to his sensory issues, rocking chairs are a place that he really likes to be. And so he would tend to go and sit in a rocking chair and just kind of rock and just kind of sit there, maybe get on his phone or, especially as he's gotten older, right? Get on his tech and kind of go into that and not be super involved in the conversation. But I remember several times throughout that gathering where he was like talking to us, he was engaged, he was involved, he cracked a joke, he laughed at somebody else's joke, like several times. Yes, I'm not saying that he did not go on his tech, he did, but he was also engaged in what the family was doing, which was very nice to see and super, different for him in a positive way. So then throughout the week, he was successful, with his eating. We tried a few different things. I will post everything that he ate. I filmed, I think, most of it, the good majority of what he ate as far as meals. Toward the end of the week, I even made him some cookies. So I posted a video on that. For right now, it's just for my members only, but soon it will be available for everyone to watch so you can see, how that went. It was like some keto cookies. I did not taste the cookies because they're keto. And that's going a little too far in that direction for me with all the chocolate and sweeteners and things that were in there. So I did not eat those. But I will say that a main ingredient in those cookies is the Equip Prime protein powder, which is beef isolate protein. So yes, I think that for him, they were a pretty good option. And that was kind of fun to try. And it was fun to try something different other than the ice cream that just keeps making butter, you guys. So yeah, so that was fun to have a successful dessert, for him. Well, almost successful. You'll have to go watch the video to see. Okay, so then toward the end of the week, we just kind of went through the week, and I will say, so I haven't noticed a big improvement with school. I mean, that's a big goal for me, for him. Like, I want that to be a goal for him, but right now it's a big goal for me, for him. As per usual, we are, 6 weeks. We're almost to the first 6-week, check-in point in the semester. And as is typical for him, he's turned in the first couple of assignments. He starts off with A's because he turns in the first couple. And then he doesn't turn something in, and then he doesn't turn in something else. And then pretty soon his grade starts to tank. And especially, so his language other than English that he's taking is sign language. And for that class, the teacher sort of had everything together like in the first 6 weeks. I don't know if she called it a unit or whatever it was. And she had a hard deadline at the end of week 5 because I guess she wanted to grade everything because at the end of week 6, there's a progress report. There was a hard deadline on that. He kept assuring me, yes, I have everything I need. Yes, I'm fine. Yes, I know, Mom. Yes, I know. Well, the day of that deadline came and it was after school. And then he was like, no, I haven't done any of it, but I have till midnight. We're talking on the day it was due. So he worked on it from 5 p.m., I think, until about midnight. I don't know. I checked in on him at 8:30 and he was still working. He had told me he had turned in 3 assignments at that point, and he didn't know how many assignments he had to do when I asked. Okay. And then so the next morning I said, okay, so how'd all that stuff go? And he's like, yeah, something happened. And I was like, okay, something always happens, right? So what happened was she put in a bunch of assignments into the grade book that he didn't know about and had not done. And now we're past the deadline. So we had to have the conversation about teachers don't put all the assignments in the grade book ahead of time. These are things he's supposed to be paying attention in class for. He's supposed to know what his assignments were. So basically what he had spent his time doing the previous evening was all the things that were already in the grade book that were labeled as missing, but there were several other assignments that he was supposed to have been completing that he didn't know about and didn't complete. And at this point now, the deadline has come and gone, right? So as of now, his grade in sign language is a 5%. Yes, 5. She has not graded whatever it was that he did on that like it was Friday night when that stuff was due by midnight. I don't know how many he ended up completing. He told me he had completed 3 at about 8:30. So maybe 4 or 5. I don't know, 4 or 5. I don't know. Today they had the day off school. The students did for President's Day. It was President's Day, so the teachers were off too. So obviously I'm not expecting her to work on the weekends. I just don't know as far as in terms of what his grade is going to look like when and if those grades go in. So yeah, so that happened. He's got a couple other classes he has some catching up to do on. I will say that for geometry, he was missing a few assignments, worksheets, and I did get a phone call from that teacher because he hadn't been doing things. He hadn't been taking notes or turning things in. So he did go and get all of those worksheets. And for a while there, he did like one each day, right? So his grade had gone down to a D and he brought it back up to a C, and he has a few more that he needs to complete. He's supposed to be doing 1 today. And then for English, he's missing 2 assignments, which means he has an F. He's got to catch up on those 2 assignments. So I don't know. That's kind of where he is right now. His other grades are good for right now. A's and B's and everything else, which is like PE, percussion. I don't remember. Whatever else he has. He's good on those. So there's 4 other classes that he's good on. It's just those 3 classes that he's going to have some catching up to do. And sign language, he can't catch up. It's like there was a hard deadline and that's it. And he kind of blew it. So yeah, we'll just see where he landed on that one. So I am hoping that as we keep on going, he's able to focus a little bit better, to remember what it is he's supposed to do, to be responsible. Who knows? I know that school is going to be a challenge as compared to other things in life, like interacting with his grandparents, or like last week with the whole room situation. Like those are things that could like benefit him directly and right now. Really my goal is just that he graduates school, and then I hope that he understands its benefits and, he could go to the junior college here because A, that's cheaper. B, he can live at home still. C, you don't have to have a super high GPA to go there. So it kind of gives him that extra time to mature. And I know that's something that my older son needed as well. So at the end of the week, I asked him for like, okay, give me an update. Like, how are you feeling? And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, like in your head, how are you feeling? So he talked about that he has like more sort of like mental clarity. He has a little more energy. He can think more clearly, that kind of thing. He didn't specify anything about school. I also did not ask him anything about school. And I will wrap this up by saying, so what has been your favorite meal so far? You guys, I thought he was going to say those pizza pockets that he's been having multiple nights. Nope. Picanha. You heard me. Picanha. So with that, I'm going to go and meet some wellness. One more person that I've converted to loving picanha at a time.
I'm getting ready to cook up this pound of sausage for my son's, well, part of my son's breakfast. This pound, actually, I did one last week. It lasted about 6 days. So it's great. So I just cook this up and then I can throw it in with his scrambled eggs and also in those pizza pockets that he likes so much. So I'm getting ready to put this in the pan and get this ready for the week. All right, that pound of sausage is just about ready. I've actually been doing jump rope sprints in between stirring this up. So I'm getting those done too. I'm doing jump rope sprints today because it's raining here, you guys. I'm about to take this out of the pan. All the grease is going to go with it, except I'm going to reserve a little bit to cook his eggs in this morning. Okay, so this is going to cool off. I'll put it in the fridge and eat it. Oh, he will eat it throughout the week. This is what's left in the pan, and to that I'm going to add 3 eggs, scramble them up, add a little cheese. We'll have some breakfast. All right, there you have it, a breakfast for a school day. It's Monday morning. Sausage, egg, and some Colby Jack cheese, and about 6 ounces of whole milk. Usual school lunch, we got a few slices of Colby Jack cheese, some pepperoni, and a Teton all grass-fed beef sausage. He loves this lunch, and it's like becoming our go-to for sure. Dinner tonight's gonna be delicious. I can't wait to show you guys. All right, this is dinner tonight. I don't know how many slices of this picanha he's going to take when he gets home in a couple of hours, but I made a picanha today. I ate 3 slices. I ate both ends and 1 small slice. I actually wasn't super hungry tonight, which is odd. I'm usually starving when I come home from work. But anyways, he'll probably take 2 or 3 of these for his dinner tonight. Delicious. Here is his breakfast for today. Today is Tuesday. I am leaving out the cheese today, so I put a little extra butter. Sometimes I don't even do butter. I put about a tablespoon of butter in here with a little sausage and egg. I'm leaving out the cheese just because yesterday he didn't eat it all, for one thing. So it was clearly enough food. He left a few bites. And also just because he is getting a lot of cheese and dairy, especially because at lunchtime, that's something super easy to pack. So we're going to leave it out, see if he notices it, see if he requests it tomorrow. And here is his lunch today. It's the same thing, and I know maybe you guys are getting sick of watching it. I'm not sure, but I figure, hey, for documentation purposes, might as well show you. And then last night for dessert, while I'm talking about food that I didn't show, I did a protein hot chocolate with the Equip Prime Protein chocolate flavor, which is beef isolate protein, some cocoa powder, and some stevia, mostly with water and maybe a couple tablespoons of heavy cream in there. And then I also used a couple more tablespoons of heavy cream to make a whipped cream for the topping. And he loved it. So I think we found a successful dessert. I'm still working on ice cream, you guys. It still is turning out like butter, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. And when I do, you guys will be the first to know. All right, we will see you at dinner. Here's the dinner. 3 slices of leftover picanha. I wish that was my dinner. I'm about to make his hot chocolate. This is a little less than a scoop of the chocolate Equip Prime Protein. That's just some hot water. Then I take my little whizzy thing here, mix that in. With this protein, you really do need something like this to stir it up, so it keeps kind of the clumps out of it. Ooh, or be careful. You got to kind of pulse it if you make it too full. Okay, and then to that, I'm going to take the heavy cream. Put a little heavy cream in it, and then I've already whipped up some whipped cream in a separate cup, so he can just kind of scoop that on. So there's, in that whipped cream, it's heavy cream, a little vanilla, and a little sweetener. And that's dessert for tonight, you guys. This is going to be dinner tonight. It is a pork roast from Wild Pastures. One thing I noticed when I opened this up is that this meat is a lot more red than traditional pork from Costco or the grocery store. So this is, pasture-raised pork, and I just cut it into 4 big chunks. I'm going to put it on low and just let it cook throughout the day. If you're wondering what's on there, I've got my Redmond real salt, organic seasoned salt, and a little bit of additional just plain Redmond real salt. So that's what's on this pork roast, and I'm excited to have this for dinner tonight. It's very easy because I can pop it in the crock pot and just let it cook while I'm gone. And when I come home, the house will smell great and a delicious dinner will be waiting for my son and myself. Breakfast today is the usual, just some sausage, egg, and butter. Actually, yesterday I did not put in the cheese as I showed you, and he didn't say anything. He was good with it. So we're doing that again. Just some sausage and some egg and some butter in this dish, and I think he's going to enjoy this. I'm also going to give him a few ounces of milk this morning. 3 to 4 ounces of milk with that. And this will be a great way to start his day and fuel his brain for school. I haven't cut this up yet, but lunch today is going to be one of these. Teton with grass-fed and pasture-raised beef. Pretty clean. A few pepperonis, and the cheese is going to change today. I'm going to do some mozzarella cheese instead of Colby Jack cheese. So this is what he will have for lunch at school. This is the finished pork roast that I made for dinner tonight in the crock pot. And I'm very excited about this Wild Pastures pork. I already ate mine, and it had a really good flavor, you guys. It was a little dry. Next time I want to add more liquid. It is not the fault of the Wild Pastures pork. I needed to add more liquid, I think, to the crock pot. But the flavor of this pork is excellent. So I'm looking forward to my next delivery, which should be coming early next month, so that I get another one of these. I definitely want to make this again. And I think Zach is going to enjoy this for his dinner tonight. Dinner for my son tonight is a nice bowl of the pork roast that I made in the crock pot yesterday. He loves this stuff. He came home and said, "I exist now, pork." So he was ready for his dinner, and here it is. He's going to have this with about 4 to 6 ounces of whole milk, and then probably some whipped cream for dessert. I am on round 3 of trying ice cream, you guys, in the Ninja Creamy, and I'm hoping I don't get butter this time. I mixed the heavy cream with whole milk, so if it comes out as ice cream, I will film it so you guys can see. So another successful day of eating, and I think he's enjoying it. Breakfast this Friday morning for my son is these Carnivore crepes. Well, Ketovore maybe, I don't know, but they are 4 eggs, 4 ounces of cream cheese, and 1 scoop of the Equip Prime Protein, and then the vanilla Prime Protein. And then I cook them in butter. So here is the last couple cooking up that are going to go as part of his lunch. But I've got 4 of them for breakfast, and then 2 of them that are going into part of his lunch today. All right, here's his lunch all packaged up. We have some cheddar cheese cubes. Those are new and different for him this week. 1 of the Teton sausages all sliced up, and then 2 of those crepes that I made for breakfast, the 2 that were left over. And so that will be his lunch for today on Friday. We are almost 2 weeks in. It's amazing. Here is my son's dinner for tonight. It is Friday night. And this is the last of that pork roast from Wild Pastures that we both enjoyed. And it's not enough for a full meal, so this plate is waiting for a pizza pocket, which didn't really want to come off the parchment so well, and the pepperoni is escaping, but it's going to taste delicious, and a little bit of whole milk. All right, this is Zach's dessert. I finally got something out of my Ninja Creamy that doesn't resemble butter, LOL, haha. Unfortunately, I did have to use whole milk with the heavy cream. I didn't want to do that. I was trying to do like a Dr. Kilt's ice cream, but that just was not working. I tried several times, different versions, using eggs, using cream cheese, and every time I just got butter. So this is about a cup, a little over a cup of heavy cream and a little under a cup of whole milk in here. There's vanilla extract in here. There's some cream cheese in here. And there is a little bit of sweetener in here. So I'm okay with this for now. I'm going to keep playing with it, trying to get a good consistency. And I'm very happy to have him swap out his store-bought sugar-filled ice cream for this. I forgot to mention on that ice cream, for those amounts, he's not eating all of that. So all of that cream and milk, he's eating half of that tonight, and then he'll have half of that tomorrow. Here is breakfast on the last day of week 2. It is some eggs, 3 eggs. These actually came from my friend and neighbor. She lives a couple neighborhoods over from me, her backyard chickens. So that's where I got these eggs from. She gave them to me for free, so that's awesome. And a little bit of that sausage, as well as about, 3/4 of a tablespoon to a tablespoon of butter. And I will also pour him a little bit of milk to drink with this. I'm probably not going to get to film lunch today. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to go interview my rancher, the rancher where I'm buying my grass-fed, grass-finished beef. So I've got that on tap for today. So he's going to be on his own for lunch. So I probably won't get that on camera, but I guess we will see you at dinner. All right, this is dinner. The end meal for week 2. This is flanken ribs. I made them in the crock pot. About 4 hours on low with just some Redmond's real salt. Not sure if he'll be able to eat all 3 of these, but if not, I'll polish off that 3rd one for him. Haha, they're delicious. This will be his first time trying these, so I'm curious to see what he thinks.